Yes, good morning, Viktor. So I'm very happy to have you as a guest today because it's very special to me what you are doing. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you very much for your invitation and interest.
Yeah. So I came across your artwork, Viktor, and I liked it from the beginning. I mean, I like art, and I'm also in favor of industry. So for me, it's a perfect connection. Maybe you can tell us how you came across this project or this issue. Or what was your way?
I don't know that was a long way. I would say that the industry chose me. That was kind of a,
Okay.
you know, my parents from my mother's side and my father's side were also were always connected with the steel industry or the heavy industry in general.
Okay.
And basically the heavy industry was not a naughty or a bad word in our families
Yeah.
for century,
Yeah.
you know. And besides that, my uncle was a professional photographer, and he was showing me the way how to develop the negatives, how to work with analog processes and so on. And I was really small. It was like 8, 9, 10 years old. And
Yeah.
then my parents take me to holidays. That
Yeah.
was one hot summer of 1993, I guess. I was something like 10, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah.
And they took me to Beskidi Mountains, which is on the very east part of my country.
Yeah.
And when you are traveling to Beskidi, you are most likely crossing Trinec. And Trinec is a very old and big metallurgical town.
Yes.
And my father just stopped the car to show me how difficult and specific conditions are the steel industry and where my ancestors used to live. And when he stopped the car, I immediately jumped out and I was absolutely amazed. Just beyond the river there was the blast furnace number 6, and it was outstanding. And since that very moment, that was really the turning point, because that was the very first time I've seen the blast furnace or the steel mill alive. And since that time, it was clear that I will not be able to live without the steel industry somehow. It was sleeping inside me, and it was fully awakened in Trinidad. And that's it, But then I continued the elementary school and the high school. So, when you are a student, you don't really have time and money to travel around. So I waited until I entered the university, and that's where I started the project.
Yeah.
Because I've seen the world of steel industry was changing. I've seen it disappearing very fast, so I just couldn't let it go so easily. So I just bought my first camera, and that's it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I mean, this is a process which we have seen in Europe. I mean, industries like textile industries or heavy industries, they move out of this area, sometimes because of cost, sometimes because of environmental regulations, of energy costs. I'm a bit afraid now because I work a lot with the chemical industry, and the energy costs have increased dramatically in our area. So the industry starts to reduce production. So I see this as critical. And when industries move to other areas, then this is connected with a lot of changes. So I understand your feeling. So then I mean, when the industry leaves an area, then it's gone. Yeah. So then this area is,
Absolutely.
This episode is over, so to say. Yeah? The party's over. Yeah?
Absolutely. And to my surprise, nobody really cares from the photographic point of view. They are really, I would say, maximum 3 photographers worldwide doing this kind of a documentary work, you know, to be focused on the heavy industry. And I do not understand it. Why? Because, you know, it's disappearing so fast. It is so fascinating. It is so unique, and it will not last long.
Yeah, I understand. And I think this is very special, and it's also very special about you, because you see things which others don't see. And let me put it like this: you see things which other artists don't see. Because for me, it's art what you are doing here.
Oh, thank you. I don't think so, but thank you.
Yeah. But tell us a little bit about your way to do it. You do something else for living today, and you also had some studies on university in different subjects. Can you tell us a little bit about it also?
You know, luckily enough, the photography is not my main source of income. You know, I'm into real estate, so basically the steel industry photography is my hobby only. It's a very expensive hobby, but I can handle it, you know. People are buying prints.
No? It's your passion, yeah. It's a
it's a hobby. It's a hobby out of control, I would say.
Yeah. Okay.
So,
passion,
so that's it. So, you know, when I'm not doing this as a main source of income, as not my job, I'm kind of free, you know. So I do not have to produce any promotion material for the companies, and I'm really focusing on the documentary part of the steel industry photography, because it's an important thing, you know, to have a great promotion pictures for your websites and magazines and calendars, but it will say nothing to next generations, you know.
It's not reality, it's marketing. I mean, marketing.
Yeah, sure. But it's important. I can understand it, but from a wider point of view, it's useless. You know, marketing is alive like 1 year at maximum, and then need to be rebranded and so on. But this documentary work, the serious documentary approach, is important. I believe so, because this is the only way how we can communicate this beautiful world of steel to next generations, because that's how it is. That's reality, you know.
Yeah. Okay. So I like your way of seeing it. I think it's something very true and something very honest what happens.
Thank you.
Yeah. So Viktor, maybe we can go back to the last post for this interview, because there are a few pictures of yours on it, and maybe you tell us a little bit about. I will try to connect us to it. We'll see if it works. Yeah, here we see the screen. Yeah, so it's you. Yeah, in real life with the camera, and steel outside. Hot steel is casted on the sand, and it's a big railway locomotive standing up there. Where does this photo come from?
Actually, first of all, it's not steel, it's slag. It's a byproduct material from the steel production. This was taken at Satka Metallurgical Works, which is beyond the Urals. And what we can see is the slag dumping. It's a kind of old-fashioned way of steel slag dumping, because this...
Just into the sand.
Pardon me?
They just put it outside into the sand.
Yeah, absolutely, from the dump. And this technology will be banned in the European Union since next year. So this is pretty unique view. You know, it's really disappearing fast, and you can only experience it since next year in Russia and non-European countries.
Yeah, but you have documented it, and I mean, it's a very impressive picture, I would say. I mean, this hot material and the sand,
Thank you.
this blue sky, dark blue sky. So I really like it. Yeah. So
Yeah, that was a mess waiting for the picture because I waited for the Slack car for over an hour, and it was really cold, Russian cold. You know, it was almost dark, very late in the afternoon, and but it was worth the wait.
Yeah. So how far? I mean, how far is it away from you? You live in Prague, or don't you?
Yeah, correct.
How far is it away from your place? I mean, how long?
This like 2,000 kilometers.
Yeah. So it's a lot of travel for you.
Yeah, it is.
How do you go there? By car or by train or by flight or?
No. Before COVID, it was much easier because I just hop on the plane and went whenever I want. Now it's a bit tricky, so I travel by car as I used to do in the past. But hopefully next year will be more relaxed as well. So
Okay, we all hope for it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so then let us take the next picture. That was okay. Yeah.
What we can see is a tapping of the blast furnace in France. That was captured in Pont-à-Mousson at Saint-Gobain facility, and it's one of the very last blast furnaces alive in the region. And to my knowledge, this blast furnace will be shut down in 2 or 3 years, and that will be the end of blast furnace production in this whole Lorraine region, and will be switched by induction furnaces.
So brass is copper and mensing, as we call it. Yeah. Okay. So this is a heavy metal, brass, and of course there's a lot of environmental regulation around it. Yeah, to protect the environment, it has to be. But on the other hand, when it's gone and we can't experience the smell and the colors and the heat, it's also a loss. Yeah.
It is.
Yeah. So it's coming hot brass out of this oven. Yeah. Very nice. I mean, this moment was all this sparkling, and this is very funny.
Yeah, that's how it is. The heavy industrial production is beautiful, and nobody believes me.
Yeah. Well, as a matter of fact, I'm at least the one who believes you. But I think there are many more. I saw it when I put out the posts for our interview. There was a lot of reaction and many comments, so people are aware of what you are doing. So then we have a big production street here.
That's the finishing part of wire rolling production. I made it in Russia again, beyond the Urals, in a town called Beloretsk, and it's just the old way of wire making. As you see, the people sitting right next to these stands, they are just controlling it. In modern mills, you don't see any workers around. It's just fully automatic operated, but that's the old way.
That's the old way. So when you say it's a wire, then it's also copper or mensing, or
no, that's steel.
Okay, this kind of wire. But I mean, it's the old style. But when there's any quality problems, you see it afterwards. If you see it. Because there's not so much quality control here. It's a very historical way of doing it.
But actually, Beloretsk steelworks are pretty unique because they can do a very, very thin wire in there, and they are like in the very best in the world who can really do that kind of dimension of the wire. Even though it looks archaic, it's active and it's still useful. So yeah. It doesn't matter how it looks, they still can do unbelievable things.
Yeah, okay. I guess it's a lot of experience when they're able to do very thin wires, and it depends also on the steel. I mean, on the recipe, and they probably also stretch it after it. Yeah. So they first cut slices, and then they have to stretch it somehow. So there's a lot of experience.
It is. Experience is something unreplaceable.
Yeah. So, but I mean, from the first one, from this first picture to France, and now back to Russia, this is about, I don't know, 8,000 kilometers, something like this. Yeah.
Yeah, could be. Yeah, a lot of traveling. I told you it's an expensive hobby.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Well, so we will come back from your pictures and continue with the interview. So it's very impressive. And what is it? What do you like most? I mean, which kind of steel production or brass or?
Oh, actually, for sure, steel production, and I really love blast furnaces. And besides that, I'm really a rolling mill guy. So rolling mills, I probably love the most.
Yeah.
Because it's beautiful and it's easy to shoot, because you clearly see how the steel is moving. There are no any unexpected movements. You just set up your tripod and your camera, and that's it. You can be sure that the steel goes from this point to that point, and that's it. So no running around with tripod like in some foundry or so, but rolling mill is easy.
It's so I understand what you mean when you say, so this dark rumbling industries, and this is the milling. Yeah. So milling is rumbling a lot.
Yeah,
okay.
It is. Well, marketing managers don't like this the dark rumbling factories word, but it's how it is. It's dark and beautiful.
Yeah. I think I guess if you ask the people down in the production, they will confirm it's dark and rumbling.
Yeah, it is.
Okay. And the way, I mean, you give away some pictures each year to a selected number of people, I would say. Yeah. So you sell it on calendars.
Yeah. Actually, I was never planning to make something like a calendar. But last year, when there used to be the lockdown and things were a bit too crazy and I couldn't travel, so I just said, whatever, let's make a calendar. I have never had time for it, so maybe it's the right things to do in the corona year. So I made it, and it was sold out in 3 days. That was absolutely unbelievable.
So. Yeah.
So I made another volume this year. And
so how many do you make? 40 or just a limited number?
This year it was 400.
Okay.
Actually, 400 is the maximum what I can store in my garage for further packing and delivering. So I can't go above 400.
Okay, I understand.
That's it.
So that
it was sold out immediately.
Okay. So when I really sum this up, so you're passionate about this project you're doing. You do it all yourself. You go to every place and take the photos, and you don't have a publisher, so you do it yourself. Yeah. So you even order the calendars, and then you store them in your garage. And let me guess, you are also sending them out yourself, or?
Yeah, sure.
This is awesome, I would say. Yeah. But okay, we were prepared to hear something passionate today. Yeah. And do you plan to combine it to a book or something?
Yeah, definitely. A book is in progress, actually. After many years of desperate tries, I finally find a publisher. Actually, I haven't found it. He found me via Instagram somehow, and it's a very famous publisher based in Slovakia, which is east from my country. They do absolutely unbelievable things, and they just wrote me, "Hey, Viktor, we love your work. How about making a book for you?" So I said yes, and it will be out next year. So stay tuned.
Yeah, I will, and I hope I will see it and hear it when your book is out, because I will be a fan. I know.
Thank you.
I think books were one of the reasons we came in contact and in communication, because I told you about a very old German book about steel cast in Germany. One of the first books is in the Kraftwerk of Rüsselsheim. One of the first books with colored photos inside, which were taken by Leica at these times. And sometimes when I look at the old pictures and your pictures, I mean, there is a progress, but this the basic process of melting steel and casting it, it's very similar to the old time. And I'm happy that you documented it. So let us please share a bit with us. What is your vision? What will be the next projects, or what will be the next things you will do?
The only vision is to continue, and try to persuade and make people understand that the steel industry was here for over a century, and it forged whole 20th century, and it's part of our culture, and my vision is to keep on letting the people know, to try to understand that what they can see is not only what they can see, and I'm thinking about the gray factory halls in the horizon, but not very many people can imagine how beautiful it is inside, when during the tapping, the whole factory hall starts to shine and glow in orange and yellow and red. And this is something what should be taken out, because not really many people are so lucky to get the permits and to get inside. So my mission is just to continuing to bring the orange glow from the factories to the common society.
So, but I mean, when you work in Russia, also, I guess you understand the language a little bit. But do you have problems to get authority to make these pictures, or is it difficult?
Yeah, sure, absolutely. Getting the permission is the most difficult part, and every year I sent like hundreds and hundreds of requests, and from those hundreds I got like 10% of positive replies. For example, it's almost impossible to make a documentary work in Eastern countries like India, Japan, China. It's simply impossible. It's very difficult in United States. It's very difficult in Austria for some reason. So yeah, it's very hard to make the communication managers to understand that I'm not here to steal your technologies or to sell the pictures to some Green Party propaganda stuff. I'm just here to leave a record, to make people, let people know how beautiful the steel production is. That's it. So if there is one more vision, it's simple, just to let the people in the communication department and the CEOs and general managers know that I'm here for you, for your steel mills, for your steel industry. I'm on your side. I'm not a spy or whatever else.
Yeah. Oh, it's important It's an important message, and it's also a statement, and it really shows that it is selfless what you are doing. Yeah? So you are not doing it for your purpose, and you are not doing it to sell something out of it. It's not easy to understand probably to people, because
it is.
real passion, and passion is not understandable for everyone so easily. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay, Viktor, I thank you very much for this interview and for sharing your vision with us. And I cross my fingers that you can catch as many pictures from these old.
Thank you very much, Bernd. Really, thank you for your time, and really, it means a lot.
Thank you. And as always, we will store this interview on YouTube, so you can find it, and you can also use it as a reference to people when you tell them, okay, I want to take some photos. Here you see the backgrounds. And so thank you very much. I would like to thank you very much that you were here and that we had this discussion.
Thank you, Bernd.
Thank you, Viktor.